Right now, over 200 million Americans are in the path of what meteorologists are calling the most dangerous weather pattern in decades. And if you live anywhere east of the Rockies, the next 10 days could change everything about your February plans. I am going to show you exactly when this storm will hit your city, how much snow or ice you will face, and the 3 critical time windows you absolutely need to prepare for. By minute 5 of this forecast, you will know the precise hour this system arrives in your neighborhood and what you need to do right now. Here is what is happening that has weather experts across the country on high alert. The polar vortex, that massive spinning column of Arctic air that normally stays locked over the North Pole, is collapsing. Right now, as I speak to you, this is not some distant threat. Satellite data confirmed it 48 hours ago. When the polar vortex splits like this, it unleashes Arctic air masses that can drop temperatures 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit below normal. And it does not do it gradually. It happens fast. Let me put a number on this for you. From February 7th through February 16th, 73 major American cities will experience what the National Weather Service is calling extreme winter weather impacts. That is more cities under severe winter alerts than we have seen simultaneously in the past 15 years. But here is your reward for staying with me. In the next 30 seconds, I am going to tell you the single most important date you need to mark on your calendar. Regardless of where you live, that date is February 13th, Friday, February the 13th. This is when multiple weather systems converge to create what some forecasters are calling a perfect storm scenario. But do not worry. I'm going to break down exactly what happens before, during, and after this date for your specific region. Now, let us start with the cities that will see the first impacts. If you are in Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, or northern Idaho, you are already feeling the early effects. Temperatures in Billings, Montana hit 70 degrees yesterday, 70 degrees in early February. That warm air is about to slam headfirst into Arctic air diving south. The collision zone, that is where the most intense weather develops. For Billings, Great Falls, and Missoula, Montana, here is your timeline. Tonight through tomorrow, February 6th, temperatures will crash. I am talking about a 50-degree drop in less than 24 hours. By Friday morning, February 7th, you will wake up to single-digit temperatures and wind chills approaching 20 below zero. Snow begins Friday afternoon and continues through Saturday, February 8th. Total accumulations: 8 to 14 inches across western Montana. Rapid City, South Dakota, your turn comes Friday night into Saturday. Expect 10 to 16 inches of heavy snow with winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Visibility will drop to near zero during the peak of the storm Saturday morning between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. This is blizzard condition territory. Bismarck and Fargo, North Dakota. You are looking at the most prolonged event. Snow begins late Friday, February 7th, and continues in waves through Tuesday, February 11th. Cumulative totals could exceed 20 inches in some areas. The worst travel conditions will be Saturday afternoon and again Monday morning during the commute. Now, moving east to the Great Lakes. This region is about to experience what meteorologists call clipper systems, fast-moving but potent snowmakers. Detroit, Michigan. Here is what you need to know. Tonight, Thursday night into early Friday morning, February 6th, a clipper moves through. This happens fast. You could go to bed with clear skies and wake up to 3 to 4 inches of fresh snow by 6 a.m. Friday. The heaviest snow falls between midnight and 5 a.m. Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, Ohio. Your window is Friday morning through Friday afternoon, February 6th. 2 to 5 inches of quick-hitting snow. The challenge here is timing. This coincides exactly with the Friday morning commute. Roads will deteriorate rapidly between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. If you can delay your commute until 10 a.m., road conditions will improve significantly. Grand Rapids and Lansing, Michigan, you get hit twice. First round, tonight through Friday morning, 3 to 6 inches. Second round, Sunday night into Monday, February 9th, another 4 to 7 inches as a second system moves through. The polar vortex breakdown keeps these clippers coming like waves. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Chicago, Illinois. Here is something interesting. The first clipper mostly misses you to the east. You might see an inch or two Friday morning, But the main action for you comes next week. Wednesday, February 12th, into Thursday, February 13th. That is when a much larger system arrives. We will get to that in a moment, but mark those dates. Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota, you are in the bullseye for persistent cold. Starting Saturday, February 8th, and lasting through Wednesday, February 12th, high temperatures will not get above 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chills will be dangerous, dropping to 25 below zero or colder each morning. Snow chances increase Tuesday and Wednesday, February 11th and 12th, with 3 to 7 inches possible. Now, let us talk about the Midwest and the setup that has everyone concerned. St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, Wichita, Kansas, and Des Moines, Iowa. All of you are in what forecasters call the transition zone. This is where cold air from the north collides with moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that collision creates the potential for significant winter weather. Here is your timeline. Tuesday, February 11th, into Wednesday, February 12th. A low-pressure system develops over the southern plains and tracks northeast. For Kansas City, this means snow developing Tuesday evening around 6 p.m. and continuing through Wednesday afternoon. Total accumulations, 6 to 11 inches. The snow will be heavy and wet, the kind that is hard to shovel and causes tree branches to break. Wichita, you are on the southern edge. You will start with snow Tuesday night, but this could mix with or change to sleet by Wednesday morning. Ice accumulations of 1/4 to 1/2 inch are possible. That may not sound like much, but it is enough to bring down power lines and make roads impassable. Des Moines and Omaha, Nebraska, you are colder, so this stays all snow. Tuesday morning through Wednesday evening. 8 to 15 inches with the heaviest snow falling Wednesday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Winds will gust to 35 miles per hour, creating significant blowing and drifting snow. St. Louis, here is where it gets complex for you. Models disagree on the exact track of this system. If the low-pressure tracks just south of you, you could see 10 to 14 inches of snow. If it tracks directly over the city, you will start as snow Tuesday night, change to sleet and freezing rain Wednesday morning, then back to snow Wednesday afternoon. This is a situation we are monitoring hourly. Check back for updates, but plan for the worst-case scenario. Ice accumulations up to 1/2 inch and snow totals of 6 to 9 inches. Indianapolis, Indiana, and Louisville, Kentucky, you are next. This same system arrives Wednesday, February 12th. Indianapolis, snow develops Wednesday morning around 3 a.m. and continues through Thursday morning, February 13th. 8 to 13 inches likely. The Wednesday evening commute will be treacherous. Louisville, you have the ice concern. Wednesday starts as rain around dawn, changes to freezing rain and sleet by midday, then transitions to snow Wednesday night. Ice accumulations of 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch are forecast. This is the kind of ice that snaps power lines and brings down trees. Power outages are likely and could last several days. Stock up on batteries, water, and non-perishable food before Tuesday. Nashville, Tennessee, and Memphis, Tennessee, let me be very direct with you. You just went through a devastating ice storm 10 days ago. You are still recovering. Some areas still do not have power fully restored. And now, another system is taking aim at you. Memphis, this one arrives Monday night, February 10th, into Tuesday, February 11th. It starts as rain Monday evening, transitions to freezing rain overnight, then sleet Tuesday morning. Ice accumulations, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Not as severe as the late January storm, but given the damage that still exists, any additional ice is a major concern. Nashville, your timing is Tuesday, February 11th, through Wednesday, February 12th. This could be all snow for you, which is actually better news than ice. 5 to 10 inches of snow forecast with the heaviest falling Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Birmingham, Alabama, and Atlanta, Georgia. You are watching this closely too. Atlanta. Current forecasts keep the worst weather just north of the city. But if this system shifts south by even 50 miles, you go from rain to a significant winter weather event. Right now, we are forecasting rain Tuesday night into Wednesday for Atlanta proper, but areas north of the city, especially along Interstate 85 into the mountains, could see a mix of sleet and snow. Birmingham, similar story. Rain is most likely Tuesday and Wednesday, but temperatures will be borderline. We are talking about 33 to 35 degrees. Any drop of just a degree or two could mean sleet instead of rain. Stay updated. Charlotte, North Carolina, and Raleigh, North Carolina, you are still digging out from 12 inches of snow that fell just days ago. The good news: this next system should stay mostly north and west of you. Charlotte might see some light snow or flurry activity Wednesday night, but significant accumulations are not expected. Raleigh, you are even further from the main action. However, another system could approach next weekend, February 15th to 16th. We will monitor that. Now, let us jump to the Northeast Corridor. This is where that Friday the 13th date becomes critical. New York City, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Boston, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland. All of you need to pay close attention to the Thursday into Friday time frame, February 13th into 14th. A coastal low-pressure system is forecast to develop off the mid-Atlantic coast Thursday afternoon and intensify rapidly as it moves northeast Thursday night into Friday. This is classic nor'easter setup. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Snow begins Thursday afternoon, February 13th, around 3 p.m. It intensifies Thursday evening and continues through Friday morning. This is where forecast uncertainty exists. If the low tracks close to the coast, you could see 8 to 12 inches. If it stays further offshore, totals drop to 4 to 7 inches. Either way, Thursday evening rush hour will be impacted. Friday morning commute will be difficult. Philadelphia and New York City, your snow starts Thursday evening around 7 p.m. and continues through Friday afternoon. The Friday morning commute is going to be very challenging. Current forecasts suggest 6 to 11 inches for Philadelphia, 7 to 13 inches for New York City. The heaviest snow falls overnight Thursday into Friday morning between midnight and 8 a.m. Boston, you are the bullseye. Snow begins Thursday night around 10 p.m. and continues through Friday evening. This could be a major snowstorm for eastern Massachusetts. Forecasts are showing 10 to 18 inches for Boston, with locally higher amounts possible on the South Shore and Cape Cod. Winds will gust to 50 miles per hour along the coast, creating blizzard conditions Friday morning and afternoon. Hartford, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, Portland, Maine, you are all in the heavy snow zone. 8 to 16 inches forecast with the highest amounts in interior Connecticut and southern Maine. Travel Friday will be very dangerous. Cancel plans if possible. Buffalo and Rochester, New York, Syracuse, New York, and Albany, New York, you have a different setup. You are cold enough that any system passing by gives you snow, but you also have the lake effect factor. Thursday into Friday, you will see snow from the nor'easter, but then Saturday, February 15th, and Sunday, February 16th, lake effect snow bands set up off Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. Buffalo and Watertown could see an additional 12 to 20 inches from lake effect alone over the weekend. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you are in the mixed bag zone. Wednesday into Thursday, February 12th to 13th, you could see snow changing to rain, then back to snow. 4 to 8 inches total, but the mixed precipitation makes it messy. Now, let us cover the South and Southeast more thoroughly. Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, and Knoxville, Tennessee. You just experienced historic snowfall. Some areas in the mountains got over 2 feet. Black ice remains a major hazard because nighttime temperatures are still dropping below freezing. For the next week, no major systems target you directly, but another round of Arctic air arrives this weekend. February 8th and 9th, overnight lows will drop into the teens and low 20s, even in the upstate and Piedmont areas. Any melted snow will refreeze. Sidewalks and secondary roads will be treacherous. Please use caution. Charleston, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia, you are in good shape. Mostly sunny and cold for the next week. Highs in the upper 40s to low 50s. No snow or ice threats. Orlando, Florida, Tampa, Florida, and Miami, Florida, you dodged the extreme winter weather, but you are not immune to cold. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, February 11th and 12th, a strong cold front pushes through. Orlando drops into the upper 30s Tuesday night. Tampa could see low 40s. Miami stays mild, only dropping to the mid-50s. But for you, that is cold. Protect sensitive plants and bring pets indoors Tuesday night. Jacksonville, Florida, you are the transition point. Some light rain possible Tuesday with temperatures in the low 50s. No winter weather concerns for you. Now, the South Central states, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, and San Antonio, Texas, Houston, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, and Little Rock, Arkansas. You already dealt with a brutal ice storm in late January. This new pattern brings more cold, but the ice and snow threat is lower for most of you. Dallas and Fort Worth. You are looking at rain Monday night, February 10th, into Tuesday morning. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s to low 40s. Just rain, not freezing rain. Amounts: 1/2 to 1 inch. Tuesday night, temperatures drop into the low 30s behind the system. Dry and cold Wednesday through Friday. Austin and San Antonio, rain Monday night into early Tuesday. Cooler temperatures follow, but you stay above freezing. No winter weather concerns. Houston, rain Tuesday, February 11th, with temperatures in the low 50s. Clouds clear Wednesday with a cool down. Highs in the mid-50s, lows in the low 40s. No freeze concerns for Houston Metro. Shreveport and Little Rock, you are in the zone where this could be tricky. Monday night into Tuesday, rain develops. Temperatures hover right around 32 to 34 degrees. If temperatures drop just 2 degrees, you go from rain to freezing rain. The current forecast leans toward mostly rain, but this is marginal. Monitor updates closely Monday afternoon. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here is your forecast. Monday night, February 10th, into Tuesday, February 11th. Snow develops. Oklahoma City could see 4 to 8 inches. Tulsa, 3 to 6 inches. This will be a quick mover, but it will impact Tuesday morning travel significantly. Let us go west now. Denver, Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Cheyenne, Wyoming. You are in a cold and active pattern. Multiple Alberta clippers dive through the region between now and February 14th. Each one brings 2 to 5 inches of snow. They are not major storms individually, but they add up. Denver expects snow chances Saturday, February 8th, 1 to 3 inches. Then again Tuesday, February 11th, 2 to 5 inches. And again Friday, February 14th, 3 to 6 inches. Cumulative totals over 7 days, 6 to 14 inches. Temperatures stay cold. Highs in the 20s and low 30s. Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Santa Fe, New Mexico. You are quiet. Mostly sunny and seasonable. Highs in the 40s and low 50s. Overnight lows in the 20s. Phoenix, Arizona, and Tucson, Arizona. You continue to see well above normal temperatures. Phoenix hits the mid-70s all next week. Tucson, upper 70s. Sunny skies. No weather concerns. Las Vegas, Nevada, and Salt Lake City, Utah, you have different stories. Las Vegas stays dry and mild. Highs in the low 60s. Salt Lake City, you are in the storm track. Snow Saturday, February 8th, 2 to 4 inches. Again Tuesday, February 11th, 1 to 3 inches. Cold continues with highs in the mid-30s. Now, the Pacific Northwest and West Coast. Seattle, Washington, and Portland, Oregon, after weeks of being dry, the pattern finally shifts. Saturday, February 8th. A Pacific storm system moves in. Rain for Seattle and Portland. Snow in the Cascades. This is good news for the ski resorts that have struggled with low snowpack. Rain continues Sunday and Monday, February 9th and 10th. Amounts: 2 to 4 inches in Seattle and Portland. Mountain snow totals: 12 to 24 inches above 5,000 feet. This is the best snow in weeks for the Cascades. Vancouver, British Columbia, and Calgary, Alberta, similar story. Pacific moisture finally arrives. Rain and mountain snow Saturday through Monday. San Francisco, California, Sacramento, California, and Los Angeles, California. You remain dry. Sunny skies and mild temperatures. Highs in the 60s and low 70s. One system might brush Northern California late next week, February 13th to 14th, bringing light rain to San Francisco and Sacramento. Los Angeles stays dry. Anchorage, Alaska, and Fairbanks, Alaska, brutally cold. Fairbanks sees highs around 10 below zero this weekend. Anchorage, highs in the single digits. This is typical for early February, but the cold is relentless. Honolulu, Hawaii, Wet and stormy this weekend into early next week. A stalled front combined with tropical moisture brings periods of heavy rain and thunderstorms Saturday through Tuesday, February 8th through 11th. Rainfall totals could exceed 4 inches in some areas. Gusty trade winds to 40 miles per hour. Not typical beach weather. Now, here is what I promised you at minute 5. The overall pattern and what it means for you. The polar vortex collapse that is happening right now sets up a pattern that will last through at least the end of February. What does that mean? It means cold air is locked in place across most of the eastern 2/3 of the United States for weeks. Storm systems will continue to track along the boundary between Arctic air to the north and milder air to the south. Every time a storm moves through this boundary, it has the potential to produce significant winter weather. We have already identified 3 major time windows. The first is this weekend, February 8th and 9th, affecting the northern plains and Great Lakes. The second is the Tuesday through Thursday period, February 11th through 13th, affecting the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and potentially the Mid-Atlantic. The third is Thursday through Friday, February 13th and 14th, when the nor'easter impacts the Northeast. But here is the twist many people are not talking about. Behind these 3 systems, another potentially significant storm could develop around February 17th to 19th. It is too early for details, but long-range models show the pattern staying active. Compare this to a normal February. In a typical year, the eastern United States sees 1, maybe 2, significant winter storms for the entire month. This year, we are tracking 4 to 6 potential high-impact events just in the first 3 weeks of February. That is exceptional. The numbers are staggering. Between February 1st and today, February 5th, over 60% of the lower 48 states have been covered by snow. That is the highest coverage for early February since 2014, and it is about to increase. Energy companies are already warning about potential power outages, especially in areas that see ice accumulation. If you live anywhere from Texas to Virginia, make sure you have flashlights, batteries, and a way to stay warm if power goes out. Ice storms can cause outages that last days or even weeks in rural areas. Road conditions will be the biggest hazard. State transportation departments are working overtime, but they can only do so much. If you do not have to travel during the peak of these storms, please stay home. Every winter, we see tragic accidents that could have been prevented. Here are your 3 action steps. First, identify which time window affects your area. Write it down. Put it on your calendar. Second, prepare now. Stock up on essentials before the storms arrive. Grocery stores get crowded and shelves empty when everyone waits until the last minute. Third, stay flexible. Plans made for next week might need to change. Monitor forecasts daily. Weather models will continue to adjust as we get closer to each event. A shift of just 50 miles in a storm track can mean the difference between 6 inches of snow and nothing. Do not assume the forecast you hear today will be exactly what happens. Check for updates every day, especially 24 to 48 hours before each system arrives. Now, I want to address something important. Some of you watching this might be thinking, this seems like fear-mongering. It is not. This is reality-based forecasting using data from the National Weather Service, NOAA, and ensemble forecast models. The polar vortex collapse is confirmed. The pattern shift is confirmed. The storm systems are showing up consistently across multiple model runs. This is not hype. This is preparation. At the same time, I do not want you to panic. We have dealt with active winter weather patterns before. You have the tools and knowledge to get through this safely, but you have to take it seriously and prepare appropriately. For those of you in areas not seeing winter weather, like Southern California, Southern Florida, and the desert Southwest, you have a different responsibility. You are the backup. If you have family or friends in the impact zones, check on them. Offer help if they lose power or need supplies. A simple phone call can make a difference. Let me give you one more piece of information that forecasters are watching closely. February is historically the snowiest month of the year for many cities on the East Coast. Washington, D.C. averages 5 inches for the entire month. This year, they could exceed that in a single storm next week. Boston averages 12 inches for February. They could see that in 2 storms. These are not normal numbers. The economic impact is also significant. Winter storms cost billions of dollars in lost productivity, damaged infrastructure, and emergency response. The late January storm that hit the South caused an estimated $4 billion in damages. If we see multiple major events this month, that number could double or triple. Airlines are already preparing for delays and cancellations. If you have travel plans for mid to late February, especially through major hubs like Chicago, Denver, New York, or Boston, book flexible tickets if possible. Check your flight status frequently. Schools and businesses will face closure decisions. If you are a parent, have a backup plan for childcare if schools close. If you are an employer, consider allowing remote work during the worst of the weather. Here is something most forecasts do not tell you. After each storm system moves through, Arctic air follows. That means even if you do not get hit by snow or ice, you will feel the cold. Wind chills will be dangerous. Frostbite can occur in less than 30 minutes when wind chills drop below zero. Dress in layers. Cover exposed skin. Limit time outdoors. For those of you with health conditions, cold weather can be especially dangerous. Heart attacks increase during and after snowstorms, often from overexertion while shoveling snow. If you have to shovel, take breaks. Do not try to clear everything at once. Better yet, hire someone or ask a neighbor for help. Pets and livestock also need protection. Bring outdoor pets inside when temperatures drop below 20 degrees. Livestock need access to unfrozen water and shelter from wind. Check on them frequently. One more critical point. Carbon monoxide poisoning deaths spike during winter storms. People use generators, grills, or other fuel-burning devices indoors and do not realize the danger. Never use these devices inside your home, garage, or near windows. Carbon monoxide is odorless and deadly. Install detectors if you do not already have them. Let us talk about what happens after mid-February. Will this pattern continue? Long-range forecasts suggest yes. The polar vortex disruption can influence weather for 6 to 8 weeks after the initial event. That means the back half of February and potentially early March could remain active and cold. Spring will eventually arrive, but it might be late this year. Some climate models suggest below normal temperatures could persist into mid-March for the eastern United States. That is not unusual after a major polar vortex collapse. For snow lovers, this is a dream pattern. Ski resorts in the Rockies and Northeast are seeing some of their best conditions in years after a slow start. If you enjoy winter sports, take advantage while it lasts. For everyone else, think of this as the price we pay for living in a temperate climate. We get 4 distinct seasons, and winter is one of them. It will not last forever, but while it is here, we need to respect it. Now, here is what you need to do after watching this. First, share this information with people in your life who need to see it. Your elderly neighbors, your parents, your friends in affected areas. Information saves lives, but only if people have it. Second, leave a comment below telling me where you are watching from and what you are seeing in your area. I read every comment. The more data points we have from real people on the ground, the better we can refine these forecasts. If you are seeing something different than what I described for your city, let me know. Third, if you found this forecast helpful, make sure you are following for updates. We will be tracking these systems every single day and putting out new forecasts as the data changes. You do not want to miss those updates. Before we wrap up, let me give you a sneak peek at what is coming next. After we get through this active period, I am going to do a special forecast looking at the rest of winter and the transition into spring. When does the pattern finally break? When can we expect consistently milder weather? What does this mean for severe weather season in March and April? That is all coming up. But for right now, your focus should be on the next 10 days, February 7th through February 16th. Those are your critical dates. Know when the weather arrives in your city. Prepare your home and family. Stay informed. Stay safe. Winter 2026 is writing its own story, and we are right in the middle of the most dramatic chapter. But with the right information and preparation, you will get through it just fine. Thank you for watching. Stay warm, and I will see you in the next update.